Well,
Hello.
it's been 2 years to the day that my wonderful woman in my life for 55 years is gone. So I went to the cemetery yesterday, and I was the only one there. I brought a little stool and a little lunch, some fruit and bananas and dates, and stayed there for about 3 hours. And it was a great 3 hours. And we connected. And although her physical self is gone, I am sure that her soul is still hanging around. She could be with us today. I know when at night, when I get into bed, usually read a little bit, and when I turn the lights out, I feel her beside me. It's palpable. And when it first started to happen, I would actually reach over to see if she was really there. And of course she wasn't. But I felt she was there, that something of her was there. And I feel that it just comes and goes. And I had a couple of signs. The biggest one, I actually took a picture of it. I don't have it with me. Maybe next time we do a show, I'll show it to you. But I was sitting at our bar, you've seen our bar, by myself, and suddenly I became aware of the fact that to the left of the bar, all the way at the end of the pool, there was this gigantic light. And it wasn't like a 60-watt bulb, it was like a stadium light. It was this big blasting light. So I went over to see what it was, and there's no light there. I went over to see what it was, and it disappeared. Came back the following night, and I didn't walk over, and eventually it disappeared again. I can only assume it was Suzanne. What else would it have been? Someone playing gags, maybe. Mm-mm. But I assume it was her. I felt it was her. And during the 2 years, my grief has transitioned into, not completely, but almost all transitioned into incredible memories that we shared. A lot of the ups and downs. We had a lot of ups and downs. A lot of downs, especially when we first started living together. And of course I had said to her many times, I'm never getting married again. I think I knew at the time that that wasn't going to be true. But I felt comfortable with the relationship we had, and I think it went on for like 8 or 9 years. She was very patient. And then one day she called me from Northern California. I was in LA, and she said, I'm moving to LA, and we can either live together or not. What do you want to do? And I said, let's try it. And we did try it. And it was under really rough conditions, because when I was divorced, I didn't want anything to change for my 2 children. They were going to great school in Westwood. They had lessons, etc. And I wanted their lives to be the same. So when I left, I took a suitcase full of clothes. Oh.
You want me?
Someone's trying to reach me. I'm not going to answer the phone. Sounds like crickets. Let me turn this off. It's irritating. Okay. Oh, of course, now it stops, right? Okay. Where was I?
Packed a suitcase.
Okay. So Brucey, who was, I think, 7 or 8. Is that right, Brucey?
Initially 5.
5. Okay. They moved in with me. And I mean in with me.
So sorry, I was 7 when we moved in. 8 when we moved in.
Okay. And I didn't take any of the bank accounts. I left the car and the house. I just figured I've always been able to make a little money, so I don't need to take money. Took a little bit of money and rented this.
Sorry. sorry.
How much money did I take? I don't know, maybe a few $100s.
Wow, yeah, that's a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, the rent was $200 a month,
Okay.
and it was in Beverly Hills. So you can only imagine what $200 a month gets you in Beverly Hills. They called it the penthouse because it was on the 2nd floor and it was a 2-story building. And it was 1 bedroom, 1 tiny bedroom, and a tinier kitchen. But there was a staircase right next to the bed that led upstairs to the penthouse. And Brucey had the penthouse. And when Brucey wanted to go to the bathroom, he would have to walk through our bedroom to get to the toilet. So one day I said, "So, Bruce, just pee off the roof. Who's going to know?" Well, there was a little hotel next to us, and I think they probably saw it happening, but he was little, and I don't think they cared. We lived in that little 2-room apartment for at least a couple of years. I went into a major depression. I didn't know it, and I was so depressed, it never occurred to me to find a therapist, which I didn't. And I finally hit bottom. I didn't open any mail. I didn't answer the phone. I barely left that little apartment. I have to tell you, the meals we ate were extraordinary. Suzanne's cooking was extraordinary. We had a little fridge that was this big. That's all we needed. Milk and cheese and butter.
I was saying, I think she'd be so happy with the way we celebrated her birthday
Right,
today with
absolutely.
a bunch of good food.
Absolutely.
Today is her birthday, if you
Yeah.
didn't know, October 16th.
Yeah.
So we're doing a special show to remember her.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So we stayed there for 2 years. I finally hit bottom the day we had no toilet paper.
The national.
Everybody has a different version of hitting bottom. All I had was the National Geographic, and I apologize to the National Geographic. I'm sorry, okay? You know how thick those pages are in the National Geographic? Anyway,
Really paints a picture, doesn't it?
right, doesn't it?
Those poor gorillas.
That sobered me up. Not that I was drunk, but it sobered me up. It brought me back into reality. And I thought I had to start making some money. So I did. I went to a commercial agency, told them what I had done. They said, okay. They sent me out. I got these 3 national spots like that, which was great. We bought a condo at the beach, moved out of the $200 a month apartment, and life was back on track again. And started making money, and everything was great. Suzanne was doing little bits and pieces. No one had ever heard of Suzanne Summers yet. This was in the, I think, 73, 74. And so in 77, when Suzanne got Three's Company, she got her first big check, and it was for $3,500. And she carried that check around with her for I think 2-3 weeks just to make sure that it was real. And finally I said to her, so we have to put that into our joint account. And she said, what do you mean joint account? I said, well, we have a joint account where I've been paying all the bills and putting all my money in there. And now that you're making a little bit of money, it's going into the, and she said, what? Well, why do I have to do that? I said, you don't have to do it. I'm just telling you that, if we're going to continue with our relationship, I think it's important that you participate. So she reluctantly said, okay. And then 3 years later, Three's Company, and the world changed for her and for me and for a whole lot of other people who suddenly tuned in to see this beautiful woman playing a, quote, dumb blonde. But she wasn't the classic dumb blonde. I remember when she came home after she got the part. That's killer. After she got the part, she said, they want me to play a dumb blonde, but I find dumb blondes irritating. So she created that character. She created a box that character would live in, a morals box. And inside the box, she would never try to steal someone's boyfriend or husband, and she would never tell a lie. She might take a rather circuitous route to get to the truth, but she would never tell a lie. And for 4.5 years, she was on that show. And it was extraordinary. The show became #1, stayed #1. Actually, when it debuted at #3. And the genius who was responsible for Three's Company was the president of ABC. This was after everybody turned it down. They weren't interested in it. And everyone turned it down. He saw something in it, so he bought the show. He had also bought and was producing Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days. So it became Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days, Three's Company. A great troika.
Zeta, if you hear a little fire behind you, it's because I'm lighting the candles.
Oh, okay.
We're going to interject really quickly to sing happy birthday, and then we're going to continue the story.
Okay. You want me to stop now?
It takes a while to light those firecracker candles.
I think, keep going, and
Okay.
then we'll start singing.
When you start hearing
Okay.
things exploding
And then when
behind
we
you.
cut the cake, we'll continue with
Okay.
Danny's stories.
Okay.
They love the stories.
Okay. All right. So for 4.5 years, Three's Company, Suzanne couldn't wait to go to work every day. She loved John. She loved Joyce. The writers had a field day, right? When there's great chemistry on a sitcom, I don't think they call it a sitcom anymore. When there's great chemistry on a sitcom, the writers
Here we go.
love it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Danny. Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
Another one.
Blowing her own candles out. Well, she literally is blowing her own candles out.
They do take a while to light. Should I do all of them?
Yeah, do all of them. It looks beautiful. Look at those.
Wow.
Watch your hair.
Beautiful. You watch your
I
hair.
know. Oh, she blew them out. Some of them.
Okay. Anyway, it got to the point, after you've been on a sitcom for 4 or 5 years, that's the end of the contract. And if they want to continue producing shows, they have to renegotiate. And it's normal. That's what happens. Any show that's been on after 5 years, the principals have renegotiated their deal because suddenly the show is a moneymaker. The network's making money, and on the back end, syndication is going to be hundreds of millions of dollars, probably billions of dollars for a big show like Three's Company. And so Suzanne wanted to be paid what the men were making. I mean, I remember she came home one day and she was not happy. she got a feeling that something was going on with the show. She wasn't sure what it was. And she was the first woman in television that we're aware of who asked to be paid what men were making with shows that were in the top 20. They weren't in the top 3. And of course they turned her down. And there was a lot of bad stuff that happened. We were involved in bad stuff, so was the network, so was the president of the network, so was the parent company. And they decided, let's fire the biggest female star in television so that no other woman would ever dare to ask to be paid what the men were making. Now today, someone who decided that would probably be in prison.
That's true.
Okay? But in those days, it was like, okay, let's do that. That's what happens. And I remember the day I went in to renegotiate her contract, and the room had 3 or 4 principals. They had a producer, an attorney, and 1 or 2 other guys. And within the first 3 or 4 minutes, they said, Suzanne's fired. And that was it. So 30, 40 years go by. I don't know how many years it's been. And over those years, I thought the president of the network was a man by the name of Tony Thermopoulos. And we had been really great friends before the show, or at the beginning of the show. We would hang out together and laugh together, and it was great. And then because I thought he was involved with the group that decided to fire Suzanne, I did not look kindly at him. I have to tell you something. There's a lady that I've been seeing lately, and it's been in People magazine, so this is not new information. Her name is Joanna Cassidy, and we were visiting with a couple of friends, and she said, we were talking about Tony Thermopoulos, and she said, I'm going to call Tony. And somehow she got him on the phone, and she hands me the phone. We're sitting in a restaurant. I picked up the phone. I said, Tony. He said, Alan. I said, Tony, I want to thank you. And he said, I understand, because the moment you were gone, Suzanne's career exploded, which was true. Suddenly, everything was going our way. Great publishing deal. Eventually, step by step, another sitcom that Suzanne starred in with Patrick Duffy that ran for 7 years. Las Vegas, she was selling out twice a night for years, and eventually became a Las Vegas Female Entertainer of the Year. Let me tell you how big that is.
That's huge.
At any time in Vegas, there are 120 acts. So to be Las Vegas...
Look what's here.
Look at that.
We're
Wow.
celebrating with Zanny's favorite thing,
Wow, look
cake.
at
I'm
this.
going to interject quickly.
And a gardenia.
Just letting you guys know that there's a free gift today, which is Zanny's favorite scent, gardenia. And you get this beautiful little tin candle, and it's free gift.
Okay.
For free if you spend, what's the price? $24.99 or more at SuzanneSummers.com.
Okay.
Take a whiff of that.
It
Okay.
smells like Zanny in a
Wow.
can.
Wow.
In a
Anyway, I could go on, but I'm not going to go on. I want to bring Bruce in. Where's Bruce? There he is.
That's beautiful. With
Take
the
my
gardenia.
seat.
Take your seat.
Take my seat.
Do you want some cake, Doug? Here. I
I'm
didn't start it yet.
my mom's son. I always
Of
want
course
cake.
you want.
Do you want just the icing?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
I feel like we're doing a cheers with cake.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Right, exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Can I eat it?
So,
Here.
I didn't realize I was going to be on. So, my mom would have been 79 today, and she had the spirit, as you all know, of someone many, many, many years younger than her. And every once in a while, things can be difficult. And my mother was, I used to call her SpongeBob. The reason I would call her SpongeBob is if anyone has watched SpongeBob, you know that SpongeBob cannot be deterred. He is the most positive little character. I think he's a he.
Yes.
And so I used to joke that she's SpongeBob because no matter how crappy something was going or something felt, she would always find the positive. And she instilled that in all of us. And she has reminded me over and over again that no matter how bad it gets, somebody has it worse. So try and focus your attention on that somebody else and send them some love and send them some help. And being of service to people actually really helps you get through the difficult times. It's really, you're doing it for other people, but it's amazing how much it helps you. So that's just a pearl of wisdom that has stuck with me that she continues to download to me. Usually at the end of yoga, when I'm so exhausted that I can't think and my mind is totally clear, my mom visits me, and she visits me a lot. And I have really nice conversations with her, and they're not, it's funny, it's as if she's right here. They're like one time I had a conversation with her and I said, Mom, you didn't give me the gift of singing. You had it, and then it skipped a generation to Camellia, and of course Daisy has it, and she goes, no, I didn't. And it was so funny to have a real conversation with her while I was in this sort of euphoric Shavasana state at the end of yoga. So I actually think there's something to being exhausted and sort of quieting the monkey mind so that you can communicate with those who you've lost, hopefully. And by losing, they've passed into another, I believe they've passed into another realm, and they're all around. We all see Zanny as butterflies here, and hummingbirds. Really? Aw. And hummingbirds and beautiful signs. And then I can't help but look at my daughters and see my mother's face in them, little mini-me's running around. And that's how it should be. That's, people think we lost my mother too quickly, too young. And I choose to relish in the fact that I had my mom for 58 years, and it was great, and I was lucky. And I was really lucky that she filled me with so much love. I posted today that I had my mom to myself for the first 10 or 11 years. So when she became famous, I was actually prepared to share her. And,
Oh, that's sweet.
yeah. And so obviously there were so many privileges and so many opportunities that came with her success. But at the same time, I had to share her with everyone. But I was so filled with love from her that it was actually an easy transition. I was so happy. And what I got to learn is how much she helped everyone, and she taught me to do what I can in this world. Sorry, this is not my brand. That's Alan's brand.
I don't know about you guys, but Zanny has become a permanent character in my subconscious. Like anytime I don't know what to do, I need advice, Zanny's this character, and I don't know if it's actually her, just what I think she'd say. I like to believe that she's actually in there. But anytime I don't know what to do, should I get pink or blue? I hear a response. And so I'm just asking her questions all the time, and we're always talking.
Well, she used to say, if you want to know the face of God, go into nature. If you want to hear the voice of God, listen to your heart. So maybe she's God.
Maybe she has become sort of God to me, because whenever I don't know something, I'm like, oh, Zanny.
Well, don't we all become like a piece of the eternal spirit and that wisdom?
Yeah, well,
So-
everybody has a different opinion about what we become.
Yeah.
But
I'm choosing to believe
that's what
it makes me feel good.
Yeah, totally. And today, just a reminder, we're mostly just doing this show about Zanny's birthday, but we did want to give a free gift. We have this floating gardenia coconut soy candle. And it's free with any purchase of $24.99 or more. This was her favorite scent. That's why we do gardenia on her birthdays, because she was always giving us, gardenias for our birthdays. A big box of like so many gardenias. And on the page, on the Instagram page, if you see the top 3 posts, she has gardenias in her hair because she loved gardenias. So it smells amazing. It really does smell like the flower.
In fact, that is the smell I associate with her dressing room. Wherever we were,
Yeah.
anywhere in the country, when you'd go into her dressing room, you always smelled fresh gardenias.
That's amazing because she had them in there. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's really cool.
And they were part of her show. It was a flower that she would wear in her hair for her shows.
Okay. Do you want to come back?
Zeta? What?
Do you want to come back? How is the cake? Yeah? I like this.
You sit, I'll stand.
Okay.
You have a little cake on your lips, Zeta. Right here.
Here?
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Classic.
You know who always had cake on her lips? Zanny.
That's right.
She always had food all over her mouth. And for some reason, she didn't know. She was a messy eater.
Well, everyone knows that one of the reasons we went to weddings was for the cake. I remember one wedding we went to, I said, who's getting married? We're there. I said, who's getting married? She said, I can't remember his name. He's on the crew for Three's Company. I said, we came to a wedding for someone you don't know except you work with, and you've never met his wife? And she said, we don't have to stay for the whole thing. We'll just stay long enough for the cake. Okay, she loved cake, which was great.
You said that she would go like this at the back. Like one time you had to leave a wedding early and she would go like this in the back of the cake.
She went to the back of the cake that was against the wall, and she did a thing. And I mean, it was like a whole, it was just icing. She didn't care about the cake. Well, no, the one cake she really loved was red velvet.
Red
Is that
velvet,
it?
yeah, she liked
Red
that
velvet.
one,
She loved red velvet. Yeah. Anyway, she was an extraordinary woman in many ways. I think her greatest accomplishment, she made.
Oh, something else. I thought maybe it was me, but you go on. You go on.
Was having Bruce. Actually, she always talked about the fact that Bruce saved her. Because Bruce came along and she was living at home. Everybody was drunk except she and her mother. And her father was really rough at night. They all slept in a closet with a lock on the inside so he wouldn't hurt them. So she came from that. And then when she got pregnant, and Bruce came, she had to move, which was great, even though she wasn't trained to make a living. She didn't know how to make a living. And there was no money from the family, and there was no money from the father, Bruce's father. It was just, those were other days. And that was, 58 years ago, right? No, 60 years ago.
When I was born, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 60.
60. Old guy.
She was also dealing with so much like
That's kind of
discrimination.
the kettle calling the pot.
I would say you can't call me. Yeah, they've called me old guy all my life. Okay, I'm no longer old guy. Yeah, all the grandchildren are in their 30s. No, Ari's 22.
Only some of us are half of us are 30.
Yeah, and they're living with their significant others, and I keep pushing them, saying, "So, how about some great grandbabies?" So I have little people running around my house.
Zeta texted me yesterday saying, I will gladly babysit your children and kill her for you.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's true.
Mom.
Yeah,
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
Bye.
I also think one of the ways that my dad helped save Zanny was that she had a lot of people discriminating against her. Because back then when you were a child of an alcoholic, that was seen as a really bad thing. And also like when you were divorced, when you got pregnant before being married, like all those things were really taboo in that day. And then she said like when you came out, you were just this being who like loved her unconditionally, and who she loved unconditionally. And she really needed that at that time, because what would have happened to her, you know?
It's interesting because you don't know when you're a kid
Right.
That you don't know. You don't know that everyone's feeling shame. You don't know that you're poor. You don't know. I mean, you know, other people have things.
A woman could have her own credit card.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. No, the other important reason when Brucey came along, and he was run over, literally run over by a car. Nobody had any insurance. He spent weeks in the hospital. It was really serious. The doctor said for survival 50-50. Okay, I think your spleen was crushed, right?
But we're not really sure. Mom doesn't know. She thinks.
Oh, okay.
But we know that all my ribs were cracked. All my ribs were broken. Every rib except for 2. And I had an exploratory. So I have a long scar on my stomach, which I forget that I have.
Yeah.
It used to go from my belt to my sternum because I was just a little boy. And now it's just like this.
So after the car ran over him and he came home, he was having nightmares every night. And Bruce's father said, there's the local Sausalito Mental Health Association. So Suzanne took Brucey there, and the therapist, Mrs. Kilgore, said, I can help him, but you have to come, and I'm going to work with you as well. And she said, I'll do anything. So Mrs. Kilgore saved Brucey, and she saved Suzanne.
Yeah.
If Suzanne has not gone to Mrs. Kilgore, I don't know where we would be today. So, Mrs. Kilgore, we did a Broadway musical, one-woman Broadway musical starring Suzanne. And she was the only one on stage for 90 minutes. We even put the band behind a curtain so there'd be no distractions. And we invited Mrs. Kilgore, who came. And after the show, she came to the dressing room, and the first words out of her mouth was, I felt uncomfortable when you released my name. And I said, you saved lives. I know, but in my business, we don't release name. And I thought, okay. Anyway, here we are today.
Talking about her name again.
Again, right. Sorry. Remember that, Mrs. Kilgore, okay? And you paid whatever you could, so Suzanne paid $1 a visit. She had no money. And there's a great story about her never having any money. And she had to feed Brucey dinner. And all she had was a potato. And she convinced Brucey that potato was the greatest tasting potato in the world, right?
If I can be a little off color, it was a great fucking potato.
Why were you off color? No, that's good.
Do you want to put this up your nose?
Stick it up your nose.
What's your favorite activity?
This is our essence roller that also smells like gardenia today because we're doing a gardenia theme.
A lot of people are saying that they're lighting their gardenia candles.
Yes. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. What a sweet tribute. This.
You can also rub the essence roller all over your face.
Yeah. This isn't supposed to be for your nose. He just likes it. For me, a normal person, I put it on my wrists and on my neck.
Are you
because
suggesting
it's a set.
that your grandfather's not normal?
I am.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly what I'm
And I'm
suggesting.
proud to not be normal,
kind of a
okay?
fact.
I've done all my life being abnormal. Right?
100%.
There you go. Anyway,
It smells so good.
we are a great family, and as I started to say, Suzanne's greatest accomplishment, and this will surprise a lot of you, when she told me, I will put our 2 families together and make one incredible family. And she did it.
Wait.
and it's incredible.
Sorry. That
Caroline?
was such a sentimental thing you're saying. For some reason, there's an effect on your face, Seda.
What's that?
Wait, for some reason, there's an effect on your face. I don't know why.
An effect?
Yep. You were in the middle of saying something so sentimental. I'm trying to get it back to normal. There we go.
What was it?
It made his mouth and eyes huge. It was like a cartoon effect. Sorry.
That wasn't me. That was Zanny.
It was.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah, I had nothing.
that was Zanny
Yeah.
saying, "All right, Al.
Yeah,
Okay.
lighten up.
I had
Okay.
nothing to do with that.
It's like it's enough. Okay.
Okay, then.
Okay. While we're doing this, while we're here, let's read some comments, right?
Okay.
Okay. We're saying we're getting a lot of happy birthdays to Zanny. We're getting Francesca said Suzanne was the glue that held this family together.
Yep.
And she really was. What a beautiful tribute to your Suzanne. Bless you all. We're getting. My mom is here, guys. She's right here. My favorite thing
Okay.
about Donna said, my favorite thing about Suzanne is how she believed in others. She always referred to them as the best at what they do. She believed in others so much that they can't help but believe in themselves. She had a unique ability to bring out the best in everyone around her. I want to explore this more. How can I bring out the best in others? What do you guys think about that?
Well, I have to tell you that Suzanne was a. Excuse me? The last time I felt that was with my first date.
What?
Anyway, Suzanne was a pleaser. Okay, a pleaser. It's very common for children of alcoholics. They believe if they just behaved, if they got good grades in school, maybe their parent would stop drinking, which of course was wrong. They would never stop drinking because of that. No, I'm just kidding. It's just that Killer gave me a little lick in my ear.
I know. It's
Yeah.
her favorite.
It's her favorite?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, I want to bring on one other person who was very important in Suzanne's life. Caroline.
Hey guys! We're having such a nice day today. Do you know what happened today that was amazing for Suzanne's birthday? After all the incredible meals that she made for all of us, the boys made the lunch today. And they made a spectacular feast for us. Lobster tails and lamb chops and grilled vegetables and a beautiful salad, and set the whole thing up out on the deck. And I would just like to say bravo to the chefs today.
Bravo to our guests. Are we allowed to pan or not?
Yeah, I mean, you guys really,
Can we pan?
you made her proud.
Yeah.
That is like,
Ask them.
A little,
Yeah.
a little BTS. Okay.
yeah.
This is the behind the
eating
scenes
frosting.
crew that made our amazing lunch today. And we also have Miss Leslie behind the light. We're all here today.
You know, all the products at SuzanneSummers.com are all inspired by Suzanne, the things that she loved, and obviously the gardenia scent is one of the big ones. When I was a kid, I had one gardenia bush and one camellia bush, and you know what happened with my love of camellias. We had a daughter named Camellia.
Yes. One out.
And the other bush, the other plant that I loved was the gardenia, and I still love wearing them in my hair. And so when I met Suzanne, and she loved gardenias and grew gardenias and would frequently wear them in her hair, and she just looked so stunning, and so she looked so pretty with them. So
Those are now my mind.
sure, it was kind of an obvious scent to be inspired by for the Manuka honey line. So
They said
Anyway.
Suzanne was a trailblazer for women's health and a smart businesswoman, a wonderful chef, and a beautiful soul. What a great synopsis.
Yes.
Isn't that
all
true?
of those things.
Yeah.
So this is the larger candle that we have, but we're giving away the floating gardenia. You know, we never like to do like a big sales thing on a day when we're just here to really honor Suzanne. And but you know, when I light that candle and smell that smell, it smells to me like my mother-in-law. So that's why it was created. And I know Leslie always says it's her favorite candle. Am I right?
Yeah, you don't even need to light it for it to smell good.
Yeah.
You just drop it.
It really is. Like, there are some kind of sickly, overly scented gardenia candles, with all fragrance, really.
Candles
But
in general.
I think that's why our line is so well received, is that everything is so, it really smells like it is of nature. And anytime we're developing the products, it's like, no, I literally just want it to smell like you're putting, well, we have an undernote of this and a bergamot edge and I'm like, no perfume notes, just the actual scent of the gardenia. So
We also aren't having crap in your candles, too.
yes, yeah.
There's no crap in
There's
it.
no crap in it. But anyway, it's pure and it's special, like
Like Suzanne.
our love for her. So thanks for being here today, and thanks you again, you guys, for that fabulous lunch.
Should we get everyone in to sign off?
Okay, there's one other person I'd like to call. Leslie? Come on. Leslie Hamill.
Hi, I'm
No, sit-
Leslie Hamill.
You can sit down.
I just wanted to
Chair is all
introduce
yours.
myself first. Okay, well, I was not prepared for this today either.
Nobody was.
But, let me go back to what somebody said about Suzanne making everyone feel like they were the best. Because that is a huge part of what she played in my life. Did I just phrase that right?
Yeah.
Okay. a huge part of me feeling like there was no end or there was no ceiling of possibilities for me was because of her. And she bet on me in the beginning before anyone else did. And she always made me feel like I was the best and the most talented. And I think that she also gave that to everybody. Everybody felt so seen by her and so cared about by her, and like there was no one else in the room besides them when she was with you. And I think that is something that is really rare in people. Most people are really caring about themselves, and she was just there. She left herself. She was such a star that she didn't have to prove it. She was just there, and she loved being admired. She loved when people would come to her and tell her that she saved their lives, or that she changed the way that they thought about something. I mean, she's written all these books in so many different ways where whether she helped you because you also had a terrible childhood, or you also were having trouble losing weight, or you also were in a marriage that wasn't working out and then you figured out how to get through that. She just helped everyone in so many ways. But how she helped me, and what I am really grateful for, is to make me feel like I could do anything. And as a result, I am completely delusional. And I can do anything.
That's the kind of delusion you need to do anything, right?
Yeah, and thanks you guys for sticking with us and joining us always on these shows. It's always a pleasure to do it. And I, for one, feel so much love coming from you guys. And I know Suzanne felt the same way. And that's all I have to say. And happy birthday to Suzanne. She's always with me.
Happy birthday.
And I think she's with all of you guys.
And say about the gardenia, that the gardenia bloomed.
Okay, so we have gardenia bushes at our house that never bloom. Ever. Sometimes during season. On my birthday, a day before my birthday, a gardenia bloomed, a big one.
Oh my God.
And then on my birthday, it opened. And then yesterday, another one bloomed. This is not gardenia season. And I brought it here today. And so she bloomed one for me and one for her birthday too. And I just feel like she's really always with me all the time. I have more signs than you guys could imagine. And
I
I'm
know
really...
because she sends them to me.
I
have multiple
all day
per
long. All day long, but I'm really thankful for that. And I think that that's part of Suzanne's superpowers too, that she's managed to stay with all of us all this time. Anyway. Okay. I love you guys.
Let's sign off.
I'm gonna blow out this candle so nobody.
Happy birthday.
Okay. So, one other thing that I want to mention relative to her creating this wonderful family. that she did single-handedly. I had nothing to do with it. I was there, and I loved it, but I wasn't the operator at all.
You didn't have the controls panel?
Right, exactly.
Not those ones.
The weekends, we rarely went to industry events or industry parties because when we were off, when she was off and I was off, we preferred being with our children. So every single weekend, she would, the kitchen was right on the beach, and she would prepare an incredible, she'd wake up at 5 in the morning and start cooking for this lunch. We'd have a few friends along with the entire family, and it was wonderful. And I think Hollywood realized that we were not part of the Hollywood cartel. And I'm not putting everybody into the same bag, because a lot of my friends are, thank God for Hollywood and the fact that they're so successful. But there's this sort of underlying thing. And we bought Palm Springs to get our kids out of town. I think we raised our kids there, and some of our grandkids as well. And I think that in part was very, very part of why our family came together, because family became number one. And that was her. It wasn't me, that was her. I'm Mr. Happy, let's do it, and we'll have a little party going on here.
Yeah, you don't even like us.
Well, aside from that, no. She's kidding, of course. Are you kidding, right? Yeah.
I don't know. Do you?
Yeah. Well, hi. Yeah. Well, there's one little.
Well, we know who likes
We'll talk
him.
later.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for being here. You guys,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you. Happy birthday,
Happy
Zanny.
birthday, Mom.
We love you,
Bye-bye.
Zanny.
Love you.
We love you
Love
guys.
you.
Bye.
We love you.